here I am in the RV again. Oh my goodness, and you can probably hear the rain, which is why I'm inside. Hopefully it won't be pouring rain for the whole video. Let's see. Anyway, we celebrated my granddaughter's graduation, and thank God it didn't rain during the graduation. So here we are. So today is going to be interesting. Lord Katumi wants to really focus the work and the energy that we're doing on that sacral chakra that we talk about every week. And the word is compunction. Now, I cannot believe that he chose the word compunction because it's not the easiest word to explain, but he wants to talk about it in terms of our sacral chakra. Because when we're in the sacral chakra, we've talked about it before, how we don't need laws, we don't need rules, we don't need any of those things. We don't need to feel guilty, because with compunction you have an uneasiness about doing something wrong, or you feel guilty, or just generally uneasy doing the wrong thing. So we talk about how a lot of 3Ders have a lack of compunction, and the only reason they don't do something wrong is because of they're having a fear of getting caught, or some repercussion for their actions. So we as the star children, because we are still developing our sacral chakras. Don't think you've mastered it, because we're still in 3D. But as we develop Christ consciousness, cosmic consciousness, we have the compunction to do the right thing. We don't even consider something that would be harmful or damaging to another person. So he brought this up today because he wants us to really focus on getting rid of all of those things that make you feel guilty, that make you feel uneasy, because you should be responding. Your actions should be from the heart, not from guilt or fear or any of those things, which is why he chose this, I think, very awkward word, complicated word to express and to explain. But it's totally right on the money, because this is exactly what we are doing. So we're trying to erase all of those things that made us feel compunction, that made us feel guilty if we did it, or had uneasiness when we did it, rather than the knowing of what is right and wrong. There's a knowingness in cosmic consciousness. So the reason why he's saying this is because even though we know when we have the right action, Pat, when I was teaching sacral chakra years and years ago, and he said, well, I could kill you, but I won't. In other words, your ability to do harm is still there, but you no longer would consider that. It's no longer even part of your makeup to even think about that as an option. Now, we live in a 3D world where that's not the case. The majority of the people on this planet are still struggling with their shoulds and their shouldn'ts, whether they're afraid God will come get them, or they'll go to hell, or the law will get them, or whatever the reasons are. They're not responding from the heart, they're responding out of fear. So let's work on ourselves so that we have the compunction to do the best that we can, to do the most heartfelt response to every situation that we can. And this is what he's talking about. This is what he said it over and over again. Several videos we've talked about the sacral chakra, but he says it's really paramount right now that we dissolve our programming, our because we may not have the belief system, so we need not believe it anymore. It's on a higher level than that, but it's still there in our programming. So we need to get rid of all of that so that it's totally and completely heartfelt. So I like to use this example a lot. When Pat and I were first married, we moved into a house. And we wanted to hang some pictures in the house. And there was a wall, and we wanted to hang this certain picture. And he's like, oh, let me get a tape measure so I can find the middle of the wall. And I walked over, I put my finger on the wall, and I go, that's the middle of the wall. And he goes, well, how do you know? And I go, because it is the middle of the wall. And I use this example a lot because it explains a lot of things. But he said, oh, no, you can't know that that's the middle of the wall. And we measured it, and it was the middle of the wall. So how did I know where the middle of the wall was? Because when you come from that heart energy, it propels you, and you just know. You just know. So you're going to know what action to take without thinking about it. One time, many years ago, Lady Portia gave me a karmic test. You get them periodically, right? But I'm really conscious and aware of it. So it lasted about 3 hours. And it was 3 hours of just responding to a question. And I had to respond from my heart or not. My heart, before my brain could think about it, could actually put words to the entire question she was asking. It had to totally come from heartfelt knowing, like the wall, like the center of the wall. You have to know, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond to that? What's your reaction? What's your heart saying? What's your mind saying? Are you afraid? Are you not afraid? Or are you coming from love? 3 hours of that. Turns out I did okay. But that is what you're being asked to do right now. You're being asked to respond from your heart without thought, with knowing. Because the mind doesn't get it. The mind gets confused. It doesn't know. And I forgot to do the cosmic thrust oil. So let's do it now. Here it is. It just reminded me. That was actually Lady Portia who did it this time. I don't know. I always forget. There you go. See, I do it ahead of time. And then, I think this one's empty, Pat. Oh, there. I do it ahead of time. And then sometimes I forget to do it with you. So here we go. Ready? Bringing it in. Bringing it into your energy field. Cupping your hands together. And bringing us together in time and space so that we can all feel this energy. Okay. Thank you, Lady Portia. That's why I have them around, you know. Anyway. So, it's that knowing that is essential. It is knowing from the heart. Boom. And it's like this. Because the mind can't do this. It's the heart that does this. So compunction will have to change its definition. Because when we're conscious and we use conscious use of power, we don't have a feeling of guilt or uneasiness or restlessness about our actions. We know we are coming from that love. We are coming from Christ consciousness. Cosmic consciousness is often called Christ consciousness because Christ was trying to teach us to love. That's what he was trying to teach. He was trying to teach us to go into that love space, into our heart, to now send that out to others. Because when you don't come from fear or ego or anger or any of those negative things, then people don't respond to you that way. When you exhibit love, people give you love back. It's just that simple. When we learn to come from this place of oneness, we lose all those negative emotions. We lose all the cha-cha in your brain. Ninu, 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 ninu. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? We lose that. And we start to come from that calm and that centeredness. And now we laugh and we play with life. Because we know that that's what we're here to do. We're here to spread that joy, to spread that love. This is our job. So rather than coming from compunction, we want to come from love. Compunction is the first step into knowing that there's a better action. And we know what that action is now. So let's get rid of all of the threads, all of the puppeteering, marionetting dogma that got attached to us through the course of our lifetime. And let's be free. And let's be free in the knowingness of right, of wrong, because that's love. Love is never harmful or cruel. It's always love. Compassion. So let's do it right now. Let's go in there and get those threads. So from the source, we visualize that yummy, yummy golden light coming in through the top of your head. And it comes down in. Oh, and we're going to scoop and get rid of all that stuff that we've been holding on for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Oh my goodness, we're tired of that. It's so heavy and so not needed. So we're going to bring that light in and let it come right down the front of us and out our feet into the mother, and she grabs onto us. And we grab onto her. We grab our toes around that grid system and back up our back. And with the mother there with us, which gives us that love, that nurturing, that wonderful feeling of a mother who loves you, up, back to source, and then down, that strong strength, energy of the Father, down into the earth to the mother and back around. And down, and now this time I want you to bring that light down through you and feel all those parts of your aura, of your light threads. The aura is made out of light threads. And it just bring it on down through and out your feet. And let the mother take that junk. Get rid of it. It's extra baggage. It's like we never take out the trash in our auras. Let's do it now. Bring it back up. Good. Back up and down again. And up again and down again. Just nice and fast like that. Good. And then down and up and out the crown chakra. So now we're going to the root chakra. And your root chakra has your past lives, all those things. And you know, nobody has had perfect past lives. It's quite impossible. It's impossible to have a perfect life now. But that's not what matters. What matters is our growth, how we learn, how we grow, and how we become more empathic and compassion each time we have an experience in a human form. That's why we clamor for bodies. Because that experience of human form is so expanding. We learn and we grow with every life, with every lesson, with every day. So we fill that with light so that all those old things that we've held on to that hold us back, they don't matter. Let them go. Let them dissolve in that light. And in your sacral chakra, with everything for all the lifetimes that you were told to do or not to do, or all the things you didn't do quite right. Let's go ahead and dissolve that. So that now this tribal chakra, this cultural chakra, I call it your should and should not chakra, only holds love, only holds wisdom in those light threads from all that you've learned. And it shows all of your growth from all the lifetimes and this lifetime, so that we can be the light seed we so want to be and are. And then we bring it out into our sacred solar plexus, where now we use our power for love. True power is conscious. That's why May named the technique conscious use of power. Because ego power isn't really ego power, isn't power. It's ego, it's fear, it's hatred, it's jealousy. It's none of those things that are contained within love. True power is conscious love. So now we're going to project that out. And we're going to go in our aura and we're going to clear all of those parts of us that weren't always so conscious, that weren't always so loving. And let that light dissolve those light threads that need just a little cleaning up. This is dusting and cleaning day. It's springtime. Spring cleaning. And now the heart, where now we radiate out that heart from all that we've learned. And that knowingness is right there. We know. We don't have to be told. We don't have to read. Right? It's not someone else's ideas. It's what's in our heart that matters. It's nice to know other people's ideas. But ultimately, you make the choice from your heart, not from what someone told you, which takes us to our throat. Because the throat is the expression of what we know, not what we think. No more thinking about what is or isn't. So, it's a knowing in the heart of what is. And that's when we meditate, when we do these techniques, we become more and more aware, more and more wise. And we don't go around, I know this is right and I know that is wrong. Because that's the mind, once again, doing what it does, trying to be in control. And that's the ego-based power. But in a love-based power, we never do that. We never tell you what you should think or what you should know, because you have to. You have to. And then your third eye, where you know fully well that you are this light seed that doesn't work from compunction. You just come from love and knowingness. And the crown, where you wear your crown like the little light seed you are. And we change ourselves in the world in the process of wearing that crown and coming from that place of love. So this is your job. And I'm sure Katumi is going to have more to say about this, because it's kind of his thing lately. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to the rain as we've been talking. Be sure to like me on YouTube, all that stuff, you know. Thumbs up on Facebook. I don't know what they do. And let's get this job done. So I love you all, and I will see you next week. Not in the rain.